You want details? Fine. I drive a Ferrari, 355 Cabriolet. What's up? I have a ridiculous house in the South Fork. I have every toy you can possibly imagine. And best of all, kids, I am liquid. So, now you know what's possible. Let me tell you what's required.
Okay, thanks to Van for stopping by. Again, our email address is lifeadvicerr@gmail.com. Life advice begins now. Okay, I think we had a couple. Yeah, this feedback one is too intense. What's up, guys? 5'10", 165, NBA comp, Matthew Dellavedova, not the game 3 of the 2015 finals version, but close. My buddy and I want to come clean about a few things. TJ was right. You can use his real name because he said you could call me Alex, which is my real name. So I guess we're real naming each other here. I do that stupid joke of asking if he minds if my buddy can meet up with us for a drink, however. So this is the Tickle Monster emailing us.
Ooh, okay.
So Rudy is correct. Being a wrestler, you often get too comfortable with physical contact. Being a smaller guy, you frequently get targeted in the wrestling room with unwanted attacks. Imagine he meant wrestling like locker room with unwanted attacks. Russillo is also correct that guys become way too comfortable being in their natural state. When introduced with this uncomfortable and disturbing joke, I also hated it. But like the saying goes, hurt people hurt people. It is not how I wanted to become known to Ryan, who I've listened to since the SVP days, but I'll take it. My buddy will be retired from TJ's life going forward. And it's not necessarily for him to ask random strangers to tickle him to build up a tolerance. Oh, okay. And he says, as a former Montanan, I'll see you at the Garden Bar. I'd like to get a shift at the Garden Bar. Maybe pick up bottles for 7 days. So this is the Tickle Monster, I guess. Is that what I'm led to believe then here?
Yeah, it sounds like it. So he just needed someone to say it loud enough, and he was like, yeah, you're right. I'm going to change my whole shit.
I guess I'm a little confused.
This is the biggest help we've ever been.
Yeah.
Perhaps.
Well, it's one of those things where when you kind of say it out loud and let other people figure out what you're doing, it's like, yeah, that is kind of weird. Actually, maybe I should stop doing that.
Yeah. When you hear people that don't know you talk about it, because no one was listening to that email going, I think it's cool those guys.
Have you asked the tickler how he feels about it?
Awesome.
Yeah, come on.
Can I hang out with that guy? Yeah.
Like, hey, I was listening to that Russillo pod the other day. The hoop stuff gets a little long, but they do this life advice at the end, and one of the guys in the friend group just tickles the shit out of the other guys. Like, what do you think if we started doing that?
Hell yeah.
Okay. This is a longer email, but man, it's good just because it's well written, although it's not like, oh my God, I've never heard of this scenario before. Jim Stats, 5'10", 185, just started lifting again at age 26. Recently hit dumbbell bench press with 45 pounds, 4x8. I'm telling you right now, if there's anything in you, this is when the strength starts to happen. A couple years, but just keep going. A couple months ago, I went and saw a movie with my roommate, Twisters, review of Twisters. Glenn Powell is cool. Did you like it, Rudy?
I like the original better, but I do love Glenn Powell.
Dude's his approval rating. He's like Anthony Edwards at the end of last year. You know, it's like I told everybody Ant has really nowhere to go, but kind of down on the love fest for him. Glenn Powell, I'm worried. No. All right. Anyway, movie theater's packed. To the left of me sat my roommate. To the right was some guy who was the subject of this email. The dude appeared to be anywhere from 15 to 19 years old. And to his right sat a girl about his age and his mom and dad. Not sure if the girl sitting to the right of him was his sister or not. Before the movie started, the guy sitting to my right asked me if I wanted to get any of the snacks that his mom packed at home and snuck into the movie. I kindly accepted a small Ziploc baggie of popcorn. I thanked the guy. A couple minutes go by, and the guy looks my way just enough to get my attention to ask if I wanted any of the puppy chow that his mom brought, to which I kindly declined.
Is that like a nickname for like trail mix or something?
Fake?
Yeah, it's like chocolate, just a bunch of different chocolate things,
Okay.
I think.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe some chapsticks in there.
Okay. I didn't know that. So think because I didn't realize they called it puppy chow. I've noticed my own shopping. I never have snacks. It's been pointed out.
That makes sense. Checks out.
Yep.
You don't seem like a snacker. You're a very deliberate eater, I feel like. An efficient and deliberate eater.
Just stacks of chicken breasts in the freezer.
You like good food. It's not like you don't like good food. It's just that, like, I don't think you're like, hey man, like I'm gonna have a pack of like Biscoff cookies in the in the pantry.
No. And whenever I do buy any of that stuff, it it's rude. You know how much you hate waste. I don't even want to tell you. So, I didn't know what that stuff was called. All right. So, I kindly declined. A couple minutes go by and the guy asks me, do you think this movie will be good? At this point, I'm thinking that this guy's just being nice, and I generally did appreciate the offer of snacks. This is also the most by far that I've ever spoken to a stranger in a movie theater. But again, nothing seems weird at this point. The movie ends. The guy looks over at me and asks what I thought of the movie. I've never had a stranger immediately ask my opinion on a movie, but considering our exchange before the movie started, I wasn't perturbed by the question. After hearing my opinion, the movie was pretty good. The guy asked me, what are your hobbies?
Oh.
I finally have that uncomfortable feeling that you get when a conversation with a stranger has reared into an unforeseeable direction. I come up with some quick bullshit response, such as, quote, hanging with friends or watching sports. And I hope that my short response and slight change of tone would signal that I'm now done with the conversation. Didn't work. Then the guy asked, quote, do you like skateboarding or fishing? At this point, I'm wishing a tornado would just rip through the building and suck me away.
Which one do you like?
You can only like one.
Which one are we doing on Saturday?
I wish the tornado would rip through the building and suck me away. Again, give a short answer. I double down and using a tone that would suggest an uneasiness, saying something to the effect of, I don't mind fishing. Then the guy suggests that we should hang out sometime and then asks for my phone number. Now I'm full-blown panicking. Quickly, I try to understand his intentions. Either he's just an overly kind guy who's oddly comfortable in attempting to strike up a friendship with a stranger, or he has he has romantic intentions. I don't know. At that age. Again, I'm not trying to make any assumptions about it, but I don't know. I mean, if he's sitting there with his parents and then maybe a sister or whatever, I don't know. Not sure if it could really be anything other than those two options. I'm not attracted to men and not attracted to men who may or may not be teenagers. Also, in a matter of seconds, I try to brainstorm responses. I obviously don't want to give this guy my number, regardless of what his true intentions were. I don't know how much time I would need to spend with someone before I'd feel comfortable going fishing with just that person. But the answer is a lot of time. Not to mention I'm potentially 10 years older than this guy, and I look like I'm at least 26, if not older. So there's no way this guy mistook me for being around his age. I'm a nice guy, and I don't like making people feel bad. The guilt I know I would feel if I told this guy sorry, but I'm not giving you my number overpowers me. And I say, quote, sure, I'll give you my number. I start reading my digits, and about halfway through, I think to myself, what in the actual fuck are you doing? I panic again and quickly make up my mind that the safest way out of this is to give a fake phone number. I give the guy my real number until it came to the final digit, and I changed it. I smiled, got up, and left. The way I handled this exchange stayed with me for days, and I took the coward's way out. I've attempted to justify my actions by telling myself that this guy was going to be disappointed to learn that I didn't want to ever see him again. But this way, his disappointment could come at a later date once realizing I gave him a fake number, as opposed to feeling that disappointment in the middle of a packed theater next to his family. I'm interested to hear all of your takes on how you would have handled this. Am I a piece of shit for giving a fake number as opposed to just being honest? If you're asking why I didn't immediately get up after the movie ended, the theater was packed. Our conversation was silent enough. All right. So longer one there. I'm going to offer up something that may not, he might just be, maybe he's the friendliest teenager of all time. He could also
have
like
a special classroom. You know what I mean? Just doesn't take cues.
There could be a touch of something going on where his social cues are off a little bit. Which is, I always think of teenagers not having friends, it just sucks. That could have been it. But that's not your responsibility. You know what I mean, man? Like, it's not your kid. So for you to be beating yourself up here, the fake number thing, I get it. It's just an easier way than saying women been doing it for decades. Unless, you never know though, because if the kid's remembering birthdays and stuff, he may try every single number combination on your ass. And in a week from now, you're getting a text asking you to go fishing. So I think you handled it fine. You don't need to, I can't even believe you let it go that far personally, but that may be something to replay in your head, which is not always the easiest thing to understand. And I can't imagine why wasn't a parent jumping in there a little bit sooner going, hey, why are you talking to the 26-year-old or leave, or I don't know, maybe they were psyched he was meeting someone.
Yeah, so they're like, please take him on Saturday.
Yeah. This kid loves to fish and skateboard, but you can only do one.
I only get one day off a week. I can't do another fishing trip. Come on. I don't know. I look at it You know, I'm a normalized no guy. I would look at this as training. The stakes are kind of low. Like, I think I would have had a nice way out of this that doesn't really hurt anyone's feelings. Maybe it would, but it wouldn't sound bad coming out. Like, I would just be like, oh yeah, I don't give out my number. Like, almost like it's a telemarketer or something. Like, that's what I would try. I haven't really tried that one yet, but it popped into my head and it was like, man, if I was in that situation, that's what I would do. So like, I look for these little situations that I didn't force, but they're just coming my way. And I'm like, this is a good chance to see if I can do a couple more reps on the old squat rack or whatever. It's just like, can I get this one out? I understand that if it comes across your mind that maybe this guy's got a developmental thing, maybe not the best time to test that out, but he wasn't thinking that. So if I wasn't thinking that either, I would have tried something like that. Just like, oh yeah, no, actually I don't really give out my number. But yeah, you know.
Yeah. Once again, it's rough out dudes finding friends. This is a little bleak, but I think it's you were too nice at the beginning, and I know that sucks because like if you were just more of an asshole at the beginning, didn't want snacks, or if he asked you the fishing versus skateboarding thing, just say I don't like either. It probably ends the conversation. But you were being too nice, and you kind of dug yourself too deep of a hole. Maybe he just keeps shooting shots. He's like, all right, which one? What do you like? Basketball? Yeah.
I don't think he would have. Yeah.
He just starts firing activities until you say yes.
You know what I loved? Because I don't know what I'm doing lately, but every now and then I'll say something in a setting where I'm by myself, and I asked, like, I shouldn't even admit this, but like, it'll just be such a sign that you're getting older, where I was getting a sandwich and the girl said, do you want a drink? And I'm usually like, I never get a soda or anything like that. And so I'll usually just be like, can I get a cup for water? But then I was kind of feeling myself. I was like, maybe I'll get a soda water. And I was like, what are the cup options? And she's like, we only have one cup. I was like, that's pretty efficient. And was like waiting and she just was like, what the fuck are you talking about? And I'm actually regretting even telling any of this story right now. So the point is this, I kind of want to go to a movie theater by myself and turn to a stranger and be like, you think this is going to be any good?
That one I like, though. Like that, I feel like that's probably what used to happen.
You think so?
Did that ever used to happen? I'm talking like the 80s when it just wasn't like everyone wasn't a weirdo. Kids played outside. Like, was that a thing? I mean, even the previews, like the previews end and you're like, nah, I'm not going to see that one. Like, maybe you don't turn to the stranger next to you, but like, isn't it sort of like what do you think? I don't know.
Opening credits, I think to be like, hey,
what do you think,
buddy?
Excited? Yeah, I know. I get it.
Think this will be good? That is hilarious.
You know what sucks too is
as a guy watching this movie.
As a guy who's like a solo movie, like that's my thing. I love it. It is just like the most peaceful thing I could do, really. And if somebody like kind of came and screwed that up, and it would just bum me out. Like it would ruin my whole experience. Be mad about it. I don't think I would have been nice to this guy to be. So I can't really relate because like that's my safe space. Like if I'm going to see Twisters by myself, I've got a big ass bowl of popcorn. I've got a giant soda. I don't want to talk to anybody. Like I don't want to talk to anybody. Me being there alone signals that I don't want to make friends. But I don't know. It just
here's I think the lesson. 15 and 19 is not your concern. Worry about the new guy at work. Worry about the guy who moved into your town that you went to high school with, or the college friend that doesn't have any friends and wants to crash your. Like, we've covered 1,000 of those emails already. Stay in your age lane. Do not feel guilt about this one. Okay, thanks to Kyle. Thanks to Van. So because you got Van, you got one email. We'll make it up to you. Thanks to Rudy. Thanks to Wargon. And hope everybody had a good holiday week. We will be in Denver. Bill and I are going to be doing Bill's show in Denver on Wednesday night. So we get some Nuggets Warriors tomorrow night. That means no Wednesday pod for me, but I'll be back on Friday. All right. We'll talk to you then. Please subscribe. Ryen Russillo Podcast, Ringer Spotify.